Hi, this is Mark Fullweiler again, and this is the 7th video in the series. And this one is on my daily regimen. Um, when I got checked into the hospital, I determined that I was not going to let leukemia solely define who I was. You know, I still have a well-rounded life. I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a husband, I'm a father. You know, I have a multifaceted life, and I wanted to maintain that. So when I checked into the hospital, I determined that I was going to do my dead level best to keep as normal as a schedule as possible. And for me, that meant getting up at the regular time that I normally would at home. 6:45, I'd have the nurse come in and they'd unhook the IV that they would have going generally throughout the night, every night. Take my shower, they'd bring me my coffee, and I would Skype with some friends, a morning Bible study, devotional every morning, and that helped a lot to stay connected to the outside world when I myself was restricted to living on the one floor of the cancer ward there at the Knight Cancer Institute. Helped a lot just to stay in touch with friends and family. So I'd get up and have my Skype meeting. The nurses, bless their heart, would put a sign on the door, "Do not disturb." And throughout the rest of the day, apart from dressing in my casual professional clothes, I refused to wear the hospital gowns. I suspected that a lot of the people that wore them and were acting sick it was in part because they were playing the part of a patient, and I didn't want to do that. And so, you know, I would dress in my slacks and my, dress shoes and tie. I wouldn't wear a necktie, um, but I wouldn't look like a patient. I didn't want my leukemia to be the definer of my life while I was in the hospital. Didn't want to do it. And so throughout the day, I broke the whole day up into approximately hour segments. I know in the 12-step programs, they say just take it one day at a time. Well, for me, waking up and realizing I'm going to be in this hospital all day was too much. But I could manage it 1 hour at a time. So I had various books I was reading on current affairs, novel, a very interesting book on leukemia from A to Z. Um, and I would just break it up into hour segments. And in between segments, I would take my IV pole, which I'm, almost always connected to, make my rounds around the hospital floor, hit the treadmill, the stationary bike, return to my room, go on to the next uh, book that I was reading, or being in real estate. I was able to do quite a bit from my hospital bed. In fact, I closed several transactions while I was in the hospital, uh, while working with a co-worker back in Corvallis who was handling my transactions. So I was, still conducting business. I was doing my Bible studies with friends at home. Um, I was reading interesting materials, and I resolved not to lay on the bed and look like a patient until 5 o'clock. Until then, I was going after it. Unless, of course, there was some procedure, something where I needed to lay on the bed for the nurses, the doctors to check me out. But um, if that was not occurring, I was busy, and the days went by really quickly, to tell you the truth, very quickly. Um, and my mental health was very good. It wasn't that bad of an experience being in the hospital, keeping to this regimen. Um, it helped a lot, and I noticed again the patients who dressed in the hospital clothing and stayed in bed with the covers pulled up because they looked sick and they behaved like they were sick. I believe they had more symptoms due to that than I did. It was kind of the joke on the ward that it was a little hard to tell, except for the bald, shiny head, if I was a patient or a staff member. Um, and that's the way I wanted to keep it. So anyone watching this video, I don't know if you're already checked into the hospital or looking at going, but I would highly recommend doing something along the same. And if you have a laptop and can Skype with friends and family on the outside, that helped a lot just to stay plugged in. So anyway, wish you well and hope all goes well for you. And I hope this video helped out. Take care. Have a nice day.